Order! Order! You are an incorrigible delinquent at times. Behave yourself, man!
Now, back here in the UK, the Health Secretary, Jeremy Hunt, has been forced to deny he's received warnings that EU nationals will flee the UK if there's a so-called hard Brexit. Now, it comes after the phrase was spotted on a briefing note he was carrying into a cabinet meeting. Let's go to Westminster and our chief political correspondent, John Craig. I mean, there's two big issues here, John. There's what does that phrase mean, what could actually happen, and why on earth were we able to spot it?
Well, we spotted it because the scourge of careless cabinet ministers, a photographer called Steve Back, who's caught out probably a dozen or so in the last few years, caught Mr Hunt as he was arriving for this morning's cabinet meeting. He had a bit of paper tucked under his arm. There it is, you can see it there. And Mr Back got a close-up photograph which showed very clearly the words, "Hard Brexit means people fleeing the UK." So what was the document? Well, it was briefing notes for health questions, which Mr Hunt was due to answer a couple of hours later. There it is. There's the close-up with Mr Hunt's thumb almost conveniently pointing to the key passage there. He was due to answer a question from the first question, number one, from Alistair Carmichael, the pro-EU Lib Dem MP, about discussions with the Home Secretary on ensuring the NHS has the workforce it needs after the UK leaves the EU. Well, he didn't actually read out in his answer that provocative phrase, hard Brexit means people fleeing the UK. He talked about how he wanted the EU nationals working in the UK to continue. Now, a short time afterwards, Mr Hunt felt the need to put out this tweet. He said this: "For avoidance of doubt, I've never been advised or believed Brexit means people fleeing UK. I was anticipating a question along those lines from MPs at Health Orals, which is why the phrase appears in my briefing note." Conspiracy theories, however, and there's plenty of those in Westminster, have linked this to an article, a letter he wrote to the Financial Times, along with the Business Secretary Greg Clark, calling for close collaboration with the EU on the regulation of medicines after Brexit. Mr Hunt will no doubt say that it was just an accident, but come on, this is a guy who's been in the cabinet since 2010, 7 years, and he couldn't have made those notes more visible if he'd tried. Some MPs think he's on pro-Remain, anti-Brexit manoeuvres.
Okay, thanks, John.